everybody, my name is Ryan. This is my review of Ghost in the Shell. Not the new one, the 1995 one, which will probably be better than the new one that comes out. But for now, all we have is this until I see the new one. So we're going to review this because this is a terrific film. It's one of the first anime films I've seen, or I did see when I first saw it. And upon rewatching it, it just gets better. You'll look more into it. It's the kind of film that you rewatch and you see more of, like, things you missed. So let's get into it. This is Nerd. I think that this movie is terrific in every sense you want an anime movie to be great, and also just ways you want movies to be great in general. First off, the animation is terrific. It's really cool, and I feel like if Blade Runner was an anime, this is what it would be. I feel like there has been a Blade Runner anime though, and I'm just talking shit. The point is that Ghost in the Shell is really good, and it's this weird, like, sci-fi future that is totally like, it's not dystopian, but it's just crazy future. It's robots everywhere, and you can hack into people's minds, like guns and briefcases, just all these cool concepts in like a completely sci-fi world where everything is super different from where it is now, and that's always a cool thing, and especially with something like this that can really capture it, because the animation is terrific. Again, this is 22 years old, and it was terrific then, and it's still good now. I still really enjoy this, and I think that the animation it holds up really well, which is good, because you don't want to look back on this as like a masterpiece of its time. You'll want to look back on this as something that still looks good, and I'm glad it does. It's also not that old. Like, I'm saying it as if it's like a gem of animation. It's 20 years. It's not like Walt Disney like drawing something and then putting it in a camera. The point is that it holds up, and I think that that's something that's worth mentioning. The levels that this movie goes into. This movie is like on the base surface a movie about kind of consciousness and sentience, and then you look into it, you kind of start thinking more about it, you rewatch it and you realize there's some things they're saying about, you know, sexuality and gender and stuff, and there's so many levels on this that I really enjoy. I think that the characters in this movie are really good. I think that all the characters in this movie serve a purpose, and the characters make sense. I really like the Puppet Master as a villain, because he's a villain that the movie spends a lot of time twisting on. It decides, like, here he is, he's the bad guy, but then, oh wait, there's a conspiracy kind of thing behind him, and then, oh wait, maybe he's the good guy, depending on how you look at it, and depending that, like, considering he's kind of major by the end of it, and it's really great. Also, this is going to go into spoilers, by the way, if I didn't mention that yet. It's a 22-year-old movie. I'm sorry if I'm spoiling it for you, but come on. I think that the ending of this movie is really well done. It's fantastic, and it's kind of creepy, and it hits on all those elements that you want it to hit on, where, you know, Major's in her new body, and she just kind of looks forward into the mirror, and it's a doll body, and it's just kind of staring at you, and it's so weird and creepy, but you're also someone looking in a mirror that has a new body that they had 10 minutes ago, so you can kind of understand why it's supposed to feel creepy and kind of odd and uneasy and things like that, and it makes sense. The voice acting in this, I think that the English voice acting is not that good, but when you watch Japanese dub, though that voice acting is a lot better. There are some that just kind of stick throughout. Like, I think the Puppet Master is pretty good English and Japanese, but Major and Bateau are definitely way better in the Japanese dub. So if you've not seen the Japanese dub, I would highly recommend go watching it. It's just, Japanese voice acting is almost better in every anime. It just works better, and it's like the original thing instead of just dubbing over it. This movie does action and sci-fi really well. First of all, there's a lot of cool concepts in this movie, like just the whole invisibility stuff. You get a lot of fun with that. First of all, there is, of course, her just coming into places and being invisible and doing shit and then leaving, and haha, camo and whatnot. And that's fun. But also, the iconic kind of fountain scene, I guess. I don't know how to exactly describe it, but the point is, the guy, she's sneaking up on him invisible, and she kind of twists his legs around and stuff. It's a fun scene. This movie uses its sci-fi concepts really well, and there's a lot of cool, just kind of out there concepts, and some of them aren't even totally sci-fi, like the submachine gun coming out of the briefcase. It's like, that's not even really like a huge sci-fi concept. That's just kind of cool. It's kind of cool spy espionage kind of stuff, and that's the cool thing. This movie does, This movie does a cool job of combining, like, the kind of spy espionage stuff that it does, and, like, going in on this company that clearly is hiding something and government conspiracies and whatnot that spy movies kind of do, and you know, some cliches. And also does just huge sci-fi world, really cool, and doing a lot of different things. Like, there's a lot of things in this movie that are just what I love about sci-fi, which is, here's a little tiny thing that does not matter, but it's sci-fi, so we're just going to throw it in. And with that, what I think about most when I think about this movie is the fingers on the keyboard that just turn into more fingers, and then tiny little fingers, and they can type super fast. And I think, yeah, that's just a cool sci-fi concept. It does not add to the story. It's not integral to the plot or any characters. It's just, hey, you can get robot parts, get robot fingers. Why not? People are just doing it, so it's okay. The whole hacking to brain stuff. There's also a lot of cool concepts in this world, and it's the reason that they made an anime out of this, where some episodes are just things that happen in this world, and some episodes are actually the story. Like, there's a guy who gets his brain hacked into, and suddenly he can't, like, remember everything. Everything he knew was a lie. And you look at that, and it's like, just the idea of your brain being hacked into, it's a cool concept, and I enjoy that you have so many just fun sci-fi concepts that the movie just touches on, that you almost want to go and, like, be like the inspiration for its own movie. It's so great how sci-fi it is and the concepts that it can introduce and quickly move past. I think that is one of the things that makes great sci-fi. Just things everywhere that are really cool and just make sense and are cool concepts that you kind of want to be focused on more, but they're just a passing thing. Again, this movie is terrifically animated. The voice acting is really good, better in Japan. The Japanese dub, much better. The sci-fi elements of this are great, as well as the spy stuff. The movie has deep meaning and expresses it very well. The writing is really good. It does a good job of, like, it very clearly has a point to convey, but as it kind of strongly just conveys that point, it makes sense. This isn't like a philosopher coming in and telling you everything the movie wants to tell you. These are robots who are, like, kind of debating what they are and how they are, and it's really interesting to see it all play out and to see all the themes that this movie touches on. Rewatch this movie if you haven't before. It is so much better upon multiple watches. You'd think so much more about it. It's like when you rewatch Star Wars and you realize, oh, there's a scene where a stormtrooper bumps his head into a door, and it's just funny, and you look at it again, and you didn't notice it the first time, but you notice it the third time. That's great. What do you think about this movie? You can comment all your thoughts down below. Are you excited for the new movie coming out starring Scarlett Johansson? You might not be, but what do you think? Comment your thoughts down below. What do you think about this movie? I am probably going to review Ghost in the Shell 2 Innocence next, so subscribe for that, and I'll see you all next time.